Welcome back to the Stirling Business Podcast, brought to you from Studio King Street in the heart of Stirling. Today I've got a guest with me, Pam Wilson, from the Federation of Master Builders, and also Kevin Wilson, Master Builders. Lots of Wilsons and Master Builders in there, but we'll come back to that. So welcome to the Stirling Business Podcast, Pam. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you.
You're looking very colourful today.
It's like my personality.
Fantastic. So we've known each other probably, 18 months or so now?
Yeah, I think so.
Working in the same kind of circles, I guess, in terms of the network, and I think we came across each other through some introductions. Might have been Maggie Gorman or somebody. I can't exactly remember.
A couple of kind of local people, I think, kind of mutual.
Yeah. Now, the thing that really intrigued me about you when we met was that you're in the construction industry, in the construction sector, which is quite unusual, I would say, for women and for females. So, but we'll get more into that because you've got a very interesting story in terms of kind of what you do. But before that, why don't you tell us a little bit about Pam Wilson and where you're from?
Yes, I'm Pam Wilson, as you said. I'm the current female president of Federation of Master Builders in Scotland. I'm the co-founder of KWMB. We have been going for 20 years. I also have my own business. It just turned 6 last month. I also have another business with two colleagues, and we're starting the property game. So yeah, based on construction. As for me, I am fairly local. I've been a resident in Bridge of Allen for 24 years, but I actually went to school in Stirling until primary 5, then moved to Falkirk, then back to Stirling. So yeah, I'm a kind of local lass roundabout. I love the area, and so when I met you specifically as well, knowing that new blood was coming here as well, it's been quite important for me to kind of I like to get involved, meet like-minded people and doing good things for the local area. So for me, construction, it wasn't in my schooling ambitions. I didn't think, I'm going to be something in construction, because I don't think that was ever something that we were told when I was at school many years ago. Certainly there was construction and woodwork and technical drawing, but for me at my particular school, they were weird. The guys were weird, the teachers, the lecturers. So yeah, it was to be avoided. So coming out of school, I went to college and done communication and media. I wanted to be in the radio. I had a face for it. So I did. Why
doesn't that surprise me? You wanted to be in media.
But it wasn't media. I didn't probably equate media to like celebrity or anything like that. Just talking, you could probably get that from me. But yes, I did that, but I moved and I started working in hospitality. Basically, I got jobs in pubs, which was great. I worked in Tesco's. I just like working. My mum had always said to me as a kid, as long as you work, you can do whatever you like. You'll buy whatever you like. So I remember I bought particular shoes to go to school. She's like, well, no, you're getting these shoes because they're functional and this is what you're getting. But the minute you can make your own money, you can buy what you like. So I did. I got a job at 13 and started buying what I liked. The most ridiculous earrings, the highest shoes. So yeah, I've always liked working. And then my husband and I got together. He's a joiner. And he was working away and he was often working weekends. So we just moved house and there's a little bit of pot of cash and we thought, we could do this. We knew what we had to make a week to cover ourselves, as you do. Kevin's is not shy, but he's quite a quiet guy. Probably going to get a word in. But we really are quite opposite, but with one mutual kind of value of doing a good job and being the best. And so we thought, right, let's do it. Buy a van, buy the tools. I went and did a startup course at Step in Stirling. We were brilliant. We did that before we started up.
To support the business function side of it.
Still an enterprise, yeah. Because we knew we couldn't function as a business if Kevin was doing it all. He has no interest in doing, not the client relations as such, but that's not his bag. He's really good at what he did on the tools. So we thought, 50-50 split. I've always been good with people. I love people. You're talking, interacting. So we just went for it and it really, really worked. And from that...
So when was that roughly?
That was 2007.
So Kevin Wilson, Master Builders, was born.
Yeah, it started off as a sole trading business because we didn't really know, because I was thinking 24, 25. So you didn't really know, but we were just trying to do it all properly. but not knowing what we didn't know and just, working hard. So we did sole trading. So it was Kevin Wilson Glaziers, actually, joining in Glazier. Then we moved up to partnership once we kind of knew a bit more about things. But 2008 came, and obviously that was fabulous for businesses. But what worked in our favour was we were so naive, because you don't know, again, what you don't know. So we got through that by the skin of our teeth, and through that process learned a lot more. Because I always say as well, it takes about 3 years to make a decent turnover, but we weren't bad, to be fair, but it was a struggle. But again, naivety got us through. I mean, there was some sketchy moments when you're using your card at Tesco's and hoping it's going to work, because we're 2 young kids at the time as well. So I think we moved into being a limited company maybe 2015, but that's when we got bigger VAT and things like that. When you do get bigger, you learn a lot more liability as well.
And by then, I'm assuming you went beyond joinery and glazing and
9%. Yeah. So we were always good at that. Kevin, by this point, was maybe 15 years in industry, and he learnt from the best. He was an apprentice out of school, and it is incredible. I mean, he is my husband, and obviously I would say that, but I actually wouldn't if he was rotten. I'm quite honest. But he's incredible. The things that he does. So yeah, we get bigger, but as you know, it's difficult with staff as well, and bringing people in and trusting people, because again, our values is doing a good job for the client. That's really where we stand. Our USP is that customer facing. I kind of take all the kind of worries from the client away from our tradespeople so they can do what they do best. Because what you find in construction is you don't go into it to be a business person per se. You're in it because you're a plumber, a joiner, and they're superb at that. But actually all the other stuff...
Most businesses start like that, particularly 100%. In the... on the construction side, 100%. Maybe less on the developer side, but certainly. Yeah,
I would say
side.
if you are somebody that's worked through the trade from like apprenticeship stage and stuff, because I work with a fantastic team, and it's mainly guys, plumbers and electricians, and that's the bit that they fall down on, and it's not their fault, is that they are so committed to the job they're doing, rightly so, that the estimates you can't get out in a timely manner, that even the invoices don't go out in a timely manner because they're just doing it all. Because if they're doing that, they've maybe missed having time with their kids. They've missed that football match. So we really identified that. We still have regrets with our own children that they've never been affected by it, but we have that guilt to think, did we work too much? But actually we were providing a really good life for them and a really good example. And our kids are pretty good, and they've both worked in the business at various times. So for us, it's been a real journey of growth, even for us as a husband and wife team together, because I am a strong character, I think we can establish. But there's been low points of depression as well, a family life. We don't argue per se, but we are completely different. So you need to learn ways to kind of cut that off as well. Especially one of the biggest bugbears I would say would be me on my phone reading emails at night, whereas he could shut off. But it'd infuriate him, and I understood. But that's really hard when you're in business as well, that control bit, because I want to be on top of it. That's my job to do that, whereas he's knackered.
And I think that's a natural thing for a lot of people, and the mobile devices don't make life easier because you just can't put it down. So you take social media out of the equation if you're purely kind of focusing on kind of business-related activity. You can't, in some cases, get to it during the day.
Yeah, it's an anxiety thing as well.
Things are running at 100 miles an hour.
Exactly.
And if you're anything like me, you'll forget unless you do it there and then.
Exactly. But it is that, and it's prioritising. But I used to just cause me anxiety because it was like a lack of control kind of thing. And then that kind of bit in my head, oh, they're going to think this or whatever, and I've learned to do it. It's been a long process. I mean, I'm only 20 years in now, of learning. And it is learning. You'd have to unlearn as well. You can't be too on top of it because you're helping nobody. That client's actually just doing it because that's their time to do it. They're sitting on the couch with a glass of wine. But actually that can wait to 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock when you've turned your computer on, you've got your coffee. And that really is something that I struggle with, and it used to come into a relationship a lot. And even my daughter, bless her, she's 25 now. We went out for a meal, I think it was maybe post-COVID, before that, and I never took my work phone. I have two phones. I could have eventually separated them both, so I never had it. She went, oh, where's your other phone? I went, I've left it. She went, well done. And she meant that sincerely. I went, oh my goodness. And that was quite an eye-opener, to be that kind of controlled by the device, as you say. So I've learned really good techniques now to kind of stop that. But it was a hard shift. It was like giving like an addiction.
Yeah. That's what it becomes. So Kevin Wilson Master Builders, you're now a kind of full service business. So what exactly do you offer to clients?
So we do extensions, renovations. We can do new builds. We can do a full turnkey design and build service for you. We work, we've been mainly in the kind of FK area, but we have worked all over. We work for international clients, and what we offer for them is a kind of safety net, really, that they've got somebody that's here. We can sort out everything from them down to schools as well, jobs. In fact, I've done that for one client, as I say, just anything in domestic construction really is our bag. And if we can't do it, I'll know somebody that can, and I can facilitate that for the consumer as well.
And are there typically, some of the projects you get involved in, are they typically kind of, run-of-the-mill kind of standard kind of homes, or do you do more of the grand designy stuff?
Yeah, we get quite spicy ones. Yeah. Generally, it would be nice sometimes. I've often thought to just do the little boxes and things, and we've done that. But we work in conservation areas a lot, properties that are 100-odd years old, so it's never so straightforward. But we love them because you'd just be bored. And it really it's a craft. I mean, there is a lot of comfort in, just doing samey things, the kitchens and stuff. But actually, it's not just a kitchen. You're changing the way somebody's living in their house, if they've saved their lemons. So, we do a lot. And I think they're all, as much as they can be similar, are completely different in a way that it's maybe been carried out for the consumer, for the client, because that journey for us is super important, because the electric ground construction is, quite negative. So we really, really champion, go, no, this would be a great journey. Talk to the client and go, right, at this point here, it's going to be a nightmare. So let's get you a voucher for Just Eat, or I say to the husbands or the wives, right, you're taking yourself out all week, and so you're limiting. You're being honest with them, but look, this is a bad bit, the good bit. Let's pick the curtains, let's pick the flooring, let's pick the tiles, and turn it round and make it a positive journey instead of like, oh, can I get in touch with anybody? Oh, this is just hard work. Where's the tradies today? If you take all that anxiety and all that kind of upset out of it, it can be a really nice process. So that's what we really like doing.
And is that the bit that you predominantly focus on with the clients? Basically,
yeah, anything they need. And some clients don't need that. I'm not very like, I'll be my friend. It's not about that. It's just like, look, what do you need? We can be as involved as you like or not. And what I love, this is a wee example. I was on holiday in January at a fancy restaurant. And the guy came out and gave us 3 cards. And I was like, oh, what's this about? I've got tarot cards. He went, no, he says, this one's for if you want us to talk to you about what you're getting. This one's just like a wee kind of synopsis, and this one's like, leave me alone. And I love that. So I thought that's kind of our approach to construction and to our clients to go, right, what do you need for us? And we can build that into the package. So I thought that was a really good, I thought that's what I do. I love that card system. How good's that? So you go, and
have you used it?
I use it. That says, you tell me everything. I want to know what I'm eating here, kind of thing. But I just love that's true. It's not a one size fits all. And I just thought that was brilliant. And that's exactly what I do in construction.
Brilliant. Okay. So I guess you'll have different demographics of clients as well, right? So do you have kind of high net worth down to people kind of putting everything in that they own into a property?
I think again it could be a 70 grand kitchen, or it could be a 10 grand kitchen, but the experience will be the same, that you get the best of service, because to me it's not about the money at all. Money is lovely, it gets you things, but that doesn't motivate me as such, because I know that client has saved that up. They've worked hard for that. I think that's something that I never forget. We've done our own extension and stuff when we were, not that we're loaded now, but significantly less off, and it was a struggle. So I see that, I see a family that they're improving their property, and I see why they're doing it, so that's precious. They've worked hard. They've obviously worked in their heads as well, how that's going to turn out for them as well. So I've never forgot that, and that really is my motivation. Kev, not so much that, not that he doesn't care, but he's focused on making sure everything else is tip-top,
The finish is perfect.
100% in the process of that. Your delivery, or what could go wrong. Because we're also honest with the client, until you open something up, you don't know what you're going to get. But to our best assumption, but we'll also caveat that by saying, like, but we can fix anything we find, so don't worry, this is completely normal. So we've got you, but this is the reality.
Yeah, okay. So women in construction, back to that theme, back to that topic. Isn't it Women in Construction Week this week?
Yeah, it is. It started on Sunday, which is great.
Oh, wow. So great timing for this podcast.
It's perfect. When I got the email last week, I was like, yes, this is hit really well. Yeah, so I would say it has changed significantly in my 20 years in industry. I think the way I've reacted to it's changed as well. I've spoken a lot about it to peers and fellow women in construction and guys. I have such a bunch of great people surrounding me in construction. I've fought hard for that as well because sometimes you wouldn't have a voice. And one thing about me as well, over the last kind of 6 years, I've lost a lot of weight. To put it in perspective, I was 9 stone heavier about 6 years ago, and that did affect my confidence in the way that I.
That's not carrying bricks on.
Well, do you know, it was easy to do because I could actually hold them on my hips and stuff, but it's a lot less of me now. But that really did affect me mentally, that what people were seeing in me, I'd already made up a thing, they're assuming this of me, or, because I felt so bad about myself. But actually, in 2019, for whatever reason, we were at an event for the Federation, because we've been members of the Federation of Master Builders for, I think, nearly 17 years now, because when we started the business, we wanted to be better, so that was our sign to join a membership like that. So in 2019, we were up for an award, and it was in Edinburgh. And before it was an AGM, and I'd never ever been to anything like that because I never really had the confidence. I didn't feel right. I was very big at the time. And I totally my thing, not that there's anything wrong with being big, I just didn't like it per se. And I said to Kevin, we'll go to the AGM. We're there in Edinburgh anyway for the awards. Let's go. He went, right, okay. So he sat there begrudgingly in this room, and I'd never done anything like that before. And I'm looking around, seeing these people, and there was another female in the room, Lee. And I was like, oh, women, that's great. So at the end of this meeting, so is anybody in the room? There's board seats up for the taking kind of thing. Does anybody want to put themselves forward? And for whatever reason, I stuck my hand up, and then Kev looked at me and he went, is there a fly? Are you squatting something away? So I don't know what made me, but I don't know if it was seeing Lee. And so I put my hand up, and then actually somebody I just met, Andrew Haldane, had seconded me. So all of a sudden, within 3.5 minutes, I was on the board of the Federation. I thought, what have I done? I started sweating. It was a hot day in June, in fact. And so that was the start for me. And from that, the confidence kind of raised. And it was very male dominated, but Lee was there. And it was. I thought, well, she's doing it. She's obviously pretty good, And I thought, right, okay. So that kind of got me in. And don't get me wrong, there was still some, I would say, particular instances that I would get a pat in the back as opposed to a handshake. But the way I thought about it is well, no, you extend your hand first, so then you've initiated that. So it's probably one of the best things I did, is join the board.
Great.
Really,
so it sounds like it gave you a lot of confidence.
9%.
It gave you, it could have been any industry, I guess, but you were in construction and you put yourself out there and kind of the rest is history, so to speak. So, so what does the Federation do then? What kind of services does it offer to its members? Yeah,
so lots of services. For me, I take it as extra members in my team as well, because I know I can phone anybody they've maybe had the same problems as you, but for the Federation, they offer CPD, new continued education. We've got contracts, we've got a whole portal we've got access to. There's Find a Builder. In Scotland specific, we champion and lobby at Parliament level as well. We're actually involved in how things are done in Scotland.
Was that like planning reform and things like that?
Everything.
Yeah.
It was trying to. I was actually. We launched a manifesto for the Federation at Parliament just in November. That was something I never ever thought I would do, to stand and speak in front of esteemed, politicians and other members. But yeah, we've the chance to do that and change things, and we're really fighting to get our own construction minister, because there's not one. So we've got skin in the game there, which is fantastic for the Federation. So yeah, we've got all that. I mean, put it in context as well, with the Federation, it's the oldest and biggest trade federation in construction. It started in 1941. in London. So it's national. So the devolved nations, Wales and Northern Ireland as well. And yeah, it's just, we've got legal with it as well. We've got helplines. We've got associate members that we can tap into. We've got benefits, you know, from Juicens to MKM. It's just, for me, it's just having that backup.
And are you the president for the national body or for Scotland?
No, for Scotland. For Scotland. Maybe one day. Maybe I'm coming for you boys. But I'm the first one in Scotland for a female in Scotland. But we did have a national female, Jane Etchells, back a couple of years ago. So there's that. I do have access to all that as well. I go down to Parliament as well with them. But yeah, the Federation is like having extra team members that you can tap into. Yeah, for me, it's been really invaluable.
Oh, that's great. So did they do anything at a local level or is it national?
All the time. No. Very much
lobbying
local.
Local councils or...
Aye. It's specific to whatever the needs are of the members. I would say in Scotland, as this is my bag, that we are really proactive. So there's 15 on the board. And just recently we went to Kilmarnock. I mean, it's almost like, you know, the Hard Hat Talks. You maybe heard people talk about that.
Yeah, that's Kenneth from Block Architects.
Yeah. So there's similar
I've
things
worked
like
with
that.
Kenneth in the past.
He's brilliant, and Gordon, the Federation of Master Builders Director in Scotland, has been on his podcast as well. But so recently, just in Kilmarnock, Juicens hosted us for like bacon rolls round the room, and it was fantastic. 7:30 in the morning, and it was for members, but also non-members to come and see what we do, and just chat. And that, to me, is really valuable because maybe you've not spoken to somebody out with for weeks, or you're maybe in a particular frame of mind that nobody's actually asked you how you are. So these are super important. So Juicens host us there, and we're actually doing one in Juicens in Alloa at the end of this month. So yeah, we do things at local level. It could be up in Aberdeen. So it's whatever we think would work. And what the demographic, there's over 300 members in Scotland, so we're all over from Shetland to Orkney as well. And we're actually just last week, we're at our last meeting there, we're at Velux in Glenrothes. So it's really stuff that we think that the members would like. So it's great, and obviously we may be having quite a big gob. I'll kind of pitch things to go and go, oh, I met this guy, he's offered up to do this, or this kitchen company wants to host us, and it's really good. And we have 4 meetings a year, big meetings a year, and there's obviously the AGM. So we do have social. So after that, we'll go for a beer. Yeah, I like a wee prosecco or a champagne, you know. But it's nice. So well, completely serious. And when I host the meetings, I have my phone next to me for the time, just to make sure, because I appreciate people's time and the value of it. Because you know, when you're a micro SME business, you know, the time just runs away. So you've committed to that because we're doing it for free. It's not any monetary value. This is because we want to do it and be better. So
you're purely looking at world through the lens of the construction industry. I'm a property developer when I'm not running hotels and doing podcasts, but that's kind of what I get more. You know, I get more of a drive from doing that as opposed to, you know, operating a business once it's complete. But you know, I kind of mix in circles with other property developers, like-minded people, property investors. There's lots of construction-related people and architects and what have you come to those types of forums. But you're looking at purely on the construction side. Do you get involved much with the developers?
That's something that we're
small to medium-sized developers in particular.
I would say that's something that for Kevin and I, for our next kind of natural progression, is what we're looking at. We in our own kind of plan, not even exit strategy, I would say, just a progression to where we are. We've got a bit of money to invest. We make a lot of money for other people, which is great, but we're kind of at a stage now. The kids are older, as I say. Oh, what is for us? And it is, I think, either buying and flipping or getting a bit of land and building our own. We've not quite found the unicorn. We'd love to have the house and the workshop because we do a lot of manufacturing as well. We just can't find that sweet spot.
In terms of your own premises, do you mean?
Yeah, because we rent at the moment. We rent at the moment. So that would be the dream, to do that and have that hustle going on. And maybe Kevin just works so hard. I mean, he's up and out at 6:30 in the morning. He's a fit guy, but, you know, I shouldn't say it, but there's a shelf life. Your knees are knackered, but he'll never not ever do it. I know that. But it's more now about self-preservation. Go, really, are we going to knock ourselves into the ground doing it for other people, or let's turn that around? So that, 100% is what we're looking at. I'm a bit scared.
It took me 30 years in the corporate industry to decide to do something different, which is exactly what you're talking about.
It's because, I mean, without a word of a lie, we nearly lost it all in 2020. It was so difficult. and the couple of years after that. But it really was, it was fight mode. And even to sit here now in 2026 and be able to be in the position that we can do buy LA or buy a bit of land or do that is incredible, and I'm incredibly thankful. But I'm proud that we do that because I had nothing. You know, we've had nothing. So yeah, that's for us, and it's going to be the next step. We're just really quite frightened about it. You know, it's that bit because I'm in control of it. And now, like, I can control these businesses. Brilliant.
You just need a bit of inspiration from other like-minded people who do similar things.
100%, and that's what I love about the networks that I'm in and the people that I know. They are inspiring, but and they're telling you the truth. You know, I hate people that are, you know, they're just telling you what you want to hear, or you know it's absolute rubbish. I was going to swear there, but you know,
you're doing well.
I know, I really am doing well. I'm swearing. No, so you know, I've learned that over the last, I was even just the last couple of years is what I'm not prepared to accept. I go, no, you're not for me. Thank you so much, and I'll just step back politely. I don't want to be rude to anybody, but I go, not for me. Thanks so much. You know, on you go.
Yeah, and collaboration, partnering.
100%.
What types of partnerships have you established with?
Kevin
Wilson Master Builders?
Many. So architects, engineers, interior designers. So I work a lot with local companies specific, but I do work with the nationals.
Feel free to give them a plug.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, interior design is Corey Muir Interiors. I love her. Dougie
See your van all the way. I know Dougie. I'm working with him at the moment.
Hearth. Yeah. So I think I mentioned Dougie the first time you ever met when we were walking round. It's just
in
great.
fact, absolutely. That I happened to bump into him at a networking event straight after that.
So no, they're two of my favourites.
Serial networker.
He's on it. Yeah. Because Dougie and I actually met years and years before when he worked for another architects company, and I wouldn't have been involved as much as I was then. So even just our relationship that way, I probably was quite it's not his fault. I'd be quite intimidated by him. Architect, they're better than me. You have that narrative when you're not feeling yourself or you don't feel confidence. But now, you know, we phone on the phone almost every day. I would say every day. I'm meeting him later on today about another project we're working on. So yeah, I love that.
Tom was nice to him.
It's just, I love that. But even local suppliers like Juicins, you know, in there speaking to the guys. I annoy Greg on the daily. We've got Gaynor, because it's shout out to construction, but for the females, it's Gaynor and Howdens does the kitchen designs. It's brilliant. So you really get to know these people. And as I say, like I am a bit of a potty mouth, so it's good that if I phone, they know I'm not swearing at them. It's like, how's your day, Pam? So it's nice. It's brilliant. So their relationships mean a lot to me. And yeah, I think. But you need to support each other because, you know, the journey can be hard. So if you've got people that, you know...
That's actually a good segue into... I know I've heard, and I'm kind of sensing it, you're very passionate about entrepreneurship, particularly when, you know, kind of women are involved in you know, getting going in the construction industry in particular, but just in general. So... you know, you talked a bit about kind of being parts of networks groups. What types of groups and networks are you part of? That gives you the opportunity to mentor, coach, and support other females.
Yes, I don't do particularly a lot of networking per se, but I am part of BOWI, which is the British Association of Women Entrepreneurs in Scotland, which is fabulous, and that is just a full plethora.
Is that the one that Karen is
Karen's
chair for Scotland?
Don't think she's the chair. No, the chair.
Or vice chair.
Maybe vice chair. But just a plethora of fantastic women, all different rages, stages, ages in their business. Oh, incredible. So for me, that's more a social thing. You get a lovely dinner at Cromlix. Shout out to Cromlix. So that's really good. But what I do in my spare time, I do Career Ready. I've done Career Ready for 6 years now, and that is mentoring 15, 16, 17-year-olds in 5th and 6th year at high school. So I'm in the Forth Valley aspect to that. So that, for me, was something I really wanted to do after the whole COVID debacle, when I really hit a low point with my mental health that way, because we were losing the business. It was a terrible time for construction, domestic construction. So I thought, if I feel this bad just now, how are these young adults feeling? My kids at the time, my daughter was 19, she came back for uni to be in the house. My son was 15, and they were all right. They'd obviously seen business, so they were fine. And actually I'd said to my daughter, like, I don't know if we can support you at uni financially, because we don't know what's happening. She went, Mum, it's all right, I've got you. And I thought, wow. And then I kind of shook myself and thought, well, she's got a resolve. We've been good parents, that she's, you know, quite pragmatic. What about the kids that are missed that, or never seen that or don't have the coping skills. So I went and sought advice, and that's when I first met Gordon Wright. I don't know if you've came across Gordon.
I certainly know the name.
Employment Engagement Forum. Employers Engagement Forum. He's brilliant.
Right.
Stirling Council.
Oh, yes, I have.
Brilliant.
Yeah, Gordon. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've been on a Zoom call with him.
He's such a brilliant guy. So proactive, champion young people as well. So I kind of, the way I got to find him and chat, I said, I really want to help. I don't know what to do. He says, I felt like this, but obviously I've got the resolve and the maturity to kind of deal with it. I want to make impactful help. He went, well, we do this thing and da. So then Career Ready came around, and so I signed up. And it's been one of the best things I've ever done. I've had 4 or 5 mentees now, all completely different, and I love it. It's
great. It's nice to give them back. And we've got a few students coming through the doors in the coming weeks from Forth Valley College in the
amazing.
second year of their HND. I was given a leg up when I was starting out, and
I've never forgot that. Somebody's helped you in your life, you should never think that you've got there on your own, and I just think if you've not got that opportunity, be that opportunity. And I really believe in that, because I know myself that when I was at high school, I don't know, I didn't have confidence as such. I didn't know I couldn't do something, but there wasn't that person. So can you just be that person for somebody? I mean, I know I'm an oddball to some people, but I treat them like young adults. But I also tell them, like, I look like an adult. I'm really not. You know what I mean? And I get on their level, and many of them don't want to be in construction per se. So we do projects, because what happens with Career Ready, it's an 18-month course. They get a 4-week paid internship in your company. So they're not working for nothing. It's brilliant. So you make that excitable, make it enjoyable, make it tangible, that they've got something they can take on to either college or
that's a lot more than a work experience.
100%, especially now with the minimum wage and stuff like that. It's a really good hustle, but it's brilliant. It is hard work. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's a big commitment, but I think anything that's worth working for and doing, it's hard work, but the result, I just love it. It's, and off the back of that, I'm now doing my mentoring for adults as well, so I should qualify at the end of this month. Actually, it's March now, so So you're doing a course to qualify to be a formal mentor, so to speak, so I did that through, I did the Help to Grow at uni in 2022, and that really just gave me so much confidence.
I met with Kevin Grant last week. He was talking about Help to Grow, and he mentioned your name and people like Graham from Uncle Fudge.
He was the first cohort. I was the second. Absolutely, that really changed me. I was a game changer for confidence, because I always felt the imposter syndrome, because I never went to uni straight away and stuff, because now I've got probably more qualifications than I can even write down, but because that was important to me, but I always felt a bit of a failure for that at school, you know, and I've never forgotten
it's never
that.
too late to keep learning.
100%.
Every day is a learning day.
But it's actually also not a failure, because what I've learned, despite that, has got me to where I was. But that's what I tell my young adults, and go, look, this is not a straight road. You're going to make mistakes. I says, failures lead to success. I says, every successful person has failed. I says, that is fact. I says, I fail every day. I says, but you don't stop at that.
You bounce back.
Yeah, it's not failure. It's failure if you stop. Keep on hustling. And I believe in that. And I wish I had somebody back in the early days to go, nah, you don't have to have it all worked out. You're going to get there. Dead end, roundabout, reverse, but you'll get there. No,
great. Great, and your kind of motivation there. So in terms of, I always ask this question, particularly to people who've kind of had similar journeys to yours, where they've had the kind of ebbing and flowing. So now that you're older, wiser, more experienced in the world of business, what would you say to your younger self if you were starting all again?
Back yourself, and don't listen to people that are overwhelming you. I think what I've thought, again, imposter syndrome, that I assumed people were better than me. Just naturally. I mean, why should I have thought that? Back yourself, value yourself, and go for it. I would say go for it. If you don't try, you're never going to get. You're never going to do. So, and I think that's probably one of the things I regret most, is I never gave myself what I was giving other people. I would always bolster other people and go, oh, you can do it. But I wasn't telling myself that. So that's a bit of a regret of mine. And it's one thing with my kids that I'm so proud of, that I never gave them any man's securities. They'll have their own. Oh, God, they'll probably write a list on me or whatever. But, you know, and my daughter she's now a teacher. She is so confident and she's so gregarious. And my son, I'm going to say little, but he's 6 foot odd. But he's a quiet boy, but he's full of passion, drive. Literally, he's a racing driver on the side. He's, he won the championships. So he's got that.
He's got the bit between his teeth.
Aye, but he's not a person that would bulldozer you. You know, he's a very polite boy. I mean, he challenges me, but anyway. But
he's allowed to, though.
Well, no, I don't think so. He should be nice to his mum. But seeing them has really just gave me this second wind to go, I must have been all right. You know, but why was I not telling myself that?
Nice.
Yeah. And I think that's a bit that really, it can be quite, it upset me, you know, that, so why am I not giving that to myself? And I'm giving it freely to everybody else, kind of thing. So, but to see it in my kids and being so, I would call them successful just because they're just nice people. But they're polite, they're well mannered, they work hard, and they've both worked in the business as well. My son's on a hiatus; he's doing his dissertation just now, but he'll be back in the business as well. My daughter done it in her gap year, you know. So yeah, I'm proud of that. So they've taught me something as well. Didn't know that, but.
So, Pam, thanks for your time. It's been a fantastic chat and really kind of interesting to understand a little bit more about the construction sector in particular when it comes to women, because not a lot of people are, would kind of know, some of the kind of things that are happening in construction in that regard. So thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We'll have you again soon at some point in the future.
Well, I've got something else coming in the pipeline, so it'd be great to maybe have a little catch up. Yeah, it's about training and bringing a platform for people coming into construction.
That could be a great topic, and we're trying to kind of help the guests and listeners understand a little bit about what's happening around Stirling, the Forth Valley in particular. Very diverse kind of range of topics, and that sounds like a great one. So
I'm going to pilot it in Stirling, but I'm actually talking at Forth Valley College on Thursday as well, but Apprentice Week. So for me, it is bringing in my local area.
Brilliant.
We got the opportunity.
We look forward to that one.
Thank you.
We'll have you back soon for that.
Thanks.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you again for attending the Stirling Business Podcast. We had Pam Wilson this week, female in the construction industry. Not many of those. I think about 15% of the of women in the construction sector. So thank you, Pam, for a very insightful conversation, and we'll talk to you all again soon.